Wrong ones part ways, right ones find their way. Today, I'm sharing an article titled "I'm Divorced and Have 3 Kids. Are you sure you want to marry Maine?" The man's answer brought many women to tears. Recently, I saw a post in a social media. After experiencing a failed marriage, she was hesitant to consider marriage again until she met the right person. During the pandemic, he personally took care of her and her 3 children, making her believe in the so-called princess life. He proposed to her, but she hesitated, saying, "I'm divorced and have 3 kids. Are you sure you want to marry my whole family unexpectedly?" He firmly replied, "Your children are a part of your life. I love you, so of course, I love all of you." This single sentence made a nearly 40-year-old woman cry uncontrollably. A man who loves you finds everything about you perfect, while a man who doesn't will only pick faults. Divorced women also have the right to pursue happiness. As the saying goes, a woman in her first marriage is like jade, pure but fragile. A woman in her second marriage is like a treasure, precious but not easily attainable. The topic of second marriages is not unfamiliar to everyone, but many still have doubts. To address this, we selected 3 classic cases for analysis. 1. After getting married, my husband began to dislike my child from my previous marriage. Mrs. Lou has been remarried for 3 years, and her child is 5 years old. Her husband's family, especially his mother, strongly opposed the marriage, even insulting her in front of relatives, calling her second-hand goods and her child a burden. During those times, her husband steadfastly defended her, even risking a cold war with his parents, insisting on marrying her and promising a lifetime of happiness. Touched by his determination, she married him without hesitation. At that time, her child from her previous marriage was only 2 years old. She never saw him hold the child, claiming he didn't like children. She didn't force it, thinking she married him for his affection for her, not for the child. In the early years, he always tried to create romantic surprises for her. He knew she loved movies, so he got a membership at a private cinema. However, now he treats her coldly, often ignoring her messages or replying late. She discovered that he had set her messages to do not disturb. He sold her wedding dress without her consent, and when the company gave him a bonus, he hid it, fearing she would spend it on their child's summer camp. He spent money freely on his brother's home renovation, but showed no such generosity towards her or her child. When she asked him to pick up the child from kindergarten, he showed impatience and even dared to scold the child in front of her. The child often cried, wanting to leave this home. When she confronted him, he arrogantly claimed, "He's not my son. I provide for him," yet he dares to talk back. "He's a white-eyed wolf and should be sent to live with your ex-husband." Conflicts about the child became frequent, leading to either arguments or silent treatment, leaving her disheartened. 2. After remarriage and having another child, we ended up divorcing. Mrs. Wang has been remarried for 6 years, with a 10-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son. Both she and her husband were in their second marriages, each with a child from the previous marriage. They met and quickly bonded over their similar pasts, both having suffered from their previous partner's infidelity. They swiftly married within 6 months of meeting, seeing each other as saviors. However, her husband's son was mischievous and often quarreled with her daughter. Her husband always sided with his son, causing her resentment. To bridge the gap, she decided to have a child together, despite her parents' and in-laws' opposition. After having a son, she found herself either caring for the baby or mediating conflicts between the older children, while her husband was indifferent to household responsibilities. Their marriage deteriorated, leading to frequent arguments and ultimately divorce. 3. I am very fortunate to have met him. Mrs. Lee has been remarried for 5 years, with a 6-year-old daughter. He appeared in her life 2 years after her divorce, during a time when she was not considering remarriage. he stayed by her side, supporting her without demanding marriage. His persistence and care eventually won her over, and she decided to trust in marriage again. Their marriage was harmonious, and he supported her hobbies and aspirations. Now, pregnant with their child, he took on household chores and cared for her attentively, making her feel grateful every day. Second marriages can be challenging, but also bring new opportunities. Some meet unreliable partners again, while others find excellent spouses. To find happiness in a second marriage, you must understand 3 points. A. Value yourself and don't lose your self-worth. Do not rush into another marriage to prove your value or think that having a child will secure your current partner. B. Handle the complicated relationships wisely. Second marriages often involve children from previous marriages. Slow down, ensure good communication, and manage all relationships thoughtfully. C. Courageously express your needs without making your partner guess. Clearly communicate your feelings and expectations to build a strong, understanding relationship. This concludes today's article. If you found it insightful, please leave a comment. To all our new readers, welcome. If you find your path challenging, remember that you might be on an uphill climb. May you gain new insights every day and never feel alone here.